Hello, I am Pam, and this is my channel made by Pam. And this is part 2 of the So Long of Simplicity S8855. These are the knit overalls. So I had some technical difficulties. I was going along and all of a sudden my computer died. And I realized that I forgot to plug it in when I started this morning. So, once it started dying, I hurried up and plugged it in, but it was too late. It already died, and then my stream ended. There was no, I just couldn't figure out how to get it started back up. Hi, Clint. So I am making this a part 2 video. So I have all my serging done. I have my pattern all cut out. And now it's the fact of getting it all sewn together. I'm back, Stephanie. I had no idea. I got a sticker stuck on my arm. Go figure. Got a price tag. I guess I was just going to cost $2.74 today. My elbow was. All right. Oh my goodness. It's because my computer died. And I didn't have it plugged in. And I realized after it died that I didn't plug it back in when I started. And so that caused some issues here. I don't want to waste all that thread. And so I tried to set it right back up so I could get right back on. And for some reason, it wasn't recognizing my camera. So I had to verify that my camera was working on my computer itself. And after I verified that, I then had to go back onto YouTube and try again. I thought these like mini little binder clips would be good because they're lightweight. But I keep having issues with it holding up my curtain. I might have to go back to my other hooks. All right. All right. I made it back. Computer issues. It's because I forgot to plug my computer in. My laptop. And when the laptop's not plugged in, it's not gonna stay working for that long. Granted, I've been going for like has it been 4 hours already? Got yourself a sandwich? Oh, good. So you guys said, which one again? This one's my right hand. This one is my left hand. I think you guys said the more green one, this one over here in my right hand. Right? That's my left hand, sorry. This one's my right hand, this one's my left hand. I just can never decide on these things. I'm thinking this one would look good. That has a lot of the same greens. This one's very colorful. I love. So this one right here. Some more green. Okay. Because I like variegated threads. I love things to be variegated. I don't know. I like the pop of color that it adds. Okay. I'm going to take down my other So I'm working with a knit fabric. I'm thinking I should probably... Oh, well, let me give you a blue dress, Stephanie. There you go, Stephanie. Now you have a blue dress. Well, my Viking is in the shop right now getting fixed because it had some, like, something was wrong with the, like, the computer board or something. And I had to take it in to be serviced. That's why I'm not sewing on it right now. But I love my brother machine so much. So right now what I'm doing is I'm just finding another needle because I need to find for stretch fabrics. I forgot to do that. I just got to go through my had to go through my arsenal of needles. Okay. But, you know, personally, I love sewing with my brother machines. But yeah. My Viking, most of the time I just use that for embroidery. I've never actually like sewn an actual garment with it. Like I haven't sat it down and sewed like a whole project. All I've ever really sewn on it is embroidery. You know, a $2,000 machine and all I've done on it is embroidery. Isn't that wonderful? This one was like a $25 machine that I got from the thrift store. And it was like a brand new, it was pretty much brand new. It was missing some pieces, but I was able to make up for that. All right. Now I get my foot pedal over here so I can control it. I gotta wind my bobbin. Come my thing closer. Yeah, like this machine cost $25. My serger cost me $50. But this one didn't have the power cord when I got it. But I was able to find a power cord in like their electronic like miscellaneous cord section. And it wasn't quite the right cord, but it worked. I don't have a Facebook group. I just have my Facebook name. And then I'm also on Instagram at madebypam78 is my Instagram handle. But on Facebook, I'm on several people's groups. Like I'm on Beth's group and Ann Laur's group. On Becky's group, Aunt Beck's Creations. And I'm on Sherry from Granny Sewing Room's group. I've thought about setting up a group for me. Oh, and then I'm also on a Friday Sews Creators group. Also, I just really don't see the point of setting up my own group. I wouldn't have much to contribute. Oh, I bet. All right, so what are we going to sew up first? I guess we're going to go ahead and sew up the top of this first. So we're just going to sew up the sides, like the side seams. Get my pin cushion, not my pin cushion, but my pin catcher. Now these are all going to be 5/8 7-inch seams. So you have 5/8 inch seam allowances. So on my machine, I have a little line on my thing, and then from like that line over to my needle position is my 5/8 inch allowance. Now, when sewing the side seam like that, I don't worry too much about the stretch factor because the stretch factor doesn't affect it when that doesn't have too much stretch. But if I'm like sewing like across the body, like this part here, sometimes I would put like the stretch factor into that. But I think also with this top portion, I did use some fusible interfacing on this top portion just to give it a little more stability on the top. I think I did take and put some interfacing in that top part. Trying to think. Oh, you just sent me a messenger, a Facebook messenger. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and message you back. There you go. So on Facebook, my Facebook is just Pamela Acock. That's my name. It's a weird name. I know. And I do have a little cutter on the side there, and but I don't have like an automatic thread cutter with this machine. Now my brother sewing embroidery machine, it does have an automatic thread cutter. But I tried to use it for sewing something, and for some reason, it just didn't want to work very well. But the only reason why I got it is for the embroidery in my other machine. So that's all I really want to use it for, is embroidery. It can do all the embroidery work while I use this other machine for all my sewing. Yeah, the sewing might work. I tried sewing something up, and it was probably some weird project I was working on, and the stitching just wasn't quite right. It's okay, Joni. I just barely got back. Oh, Joni, I was going to tell you, I got your package last night in the mail. You like your envelope? And I don't know where I put it. It's probably upstairs in my bedroom, because I don't think I came back down. Well, I did come back down here after I got home. I don't know where I put it though now, because I moved everything. Because that's the way I work. So I can't tell you where I put the envelope. It's probably upstairs in my room, because I don't think, oh, it's right here. Sorry. I found it. So you guys want to see what Joni sent me? I just got her package last night in the mail. And since she's here, I can show you. So she sent me some little razzles. And then, what's in this thing? Little, like, stickers. And she, like, put everything individually in these little bags. Like, a little, like, well, I don't know. I guess it's to, like, make things different color. I don't know. You're gonna have to help me out here. On some little tiny tattoos. And she even wrote tattoos on it, so I would know what they are. And then some more little space alien stickers. Oh, these are for Timo. Cool. He'll like that. And then a little picture. I just saw his name on there. That's so sweet, Joni. And I know it was, Kelly had a lot to do with it too. But yeah. So this is for Timo. And then got some little stickers. So cute, little Valentines, and then it's a little sticker, like little boards. And then, so this one must be for Elizabeth then. Doesn't have her name on it, but I'm pretty sure that was meant for Elizabeth. Kellyanne probably forgot her name. Look how cute. This little corrugated cardboard. Little R. So cute little artwork. So cute. A little like glitter zipper thing. A little ice cream cone. And I'll make sure that Elizabeth gets these. Little snowflake. And then A BFF. Little bracelet for Elizabeth. Little tiny clip here. Just a little drawing. How cute. And Kelly wrote her name on the book. A little like notebook that Elizabeth can draw in. Little balloons. A budding artist. As I drop everything on the floor. It's because it's slippery. That's what it was. All right. Oh, cute little picture. Oh, that's cool. Like a little watercolor palette. Look, you just get those a little bit wet and automatically they turn into like a watercolor that you can paint with. Hi, Kyle. Glad to see you here. And then a little card. A little, like a little Valentine Rocky card. Yeah, so I'll make sure Elizabeth gets this stuff. Kelly did a very good job, Joni. That was very nice. Okay. Make sure Elizabeth. Oh, that's fine, Joni. They will be so excited. I'll put those back in there too. Like what was really impressive is this beautiful tea towel thing that you sent me. Oh my goodness. Look how gorgeous that is, guys. That is some talent, Joni. So much talent. I love it. We got another little doily thing. I'm going to have to make a good use for those. I love that one so much. How awesome would it look as on the pocket of that outfit I'm making. And then she sent me a whole bunch of like little like die cut tags. That's so cool. And then I think these are just a bunch of empty little bags to use for stuff. And some little restaurant, like little napkins. And a cute little piece of fabric. And look how beautiful this is. It's like the half butterfly, and then this is the full butterfly. Oh my goodness. Yeah, the stickers. Yeah, there's two things, the stickers and the scene. Yeah. And then this little tea towel. It's quite a good size. Oh, one is one of those kinds that has that little thing that you could use to hang up stuff. But I'm thinking what I want to do is add like the fabric topper to it. So like you'd fold it in half and you'd add the fabric topper to it, and then this part would be where you could dry your hands off on. So I'm probably going to end up cutting this in half so that I can have 2 towels out of this, because it is a very long piece. And I would make it like 12 inches long, and that's plenty length for a towel. So I hope you don't mind if I cut it in half. She did, Ray. Joni crocheted the trim. Like, I sent her the crochet thread in a Happy Mail box, because I sent her some overalls that I made for her, just like these ones. And she immediately went into it and crocheted the trim, and then she made some little butterflies. And I don't think I want to put the butterflies on the towel. I want to use them for something else. How cute would that be? If this was a little bit, if I have something I can do with that. You know, I could sew this on the pocket, but I wouldn't want to put it on that. I would want to put it on a different object. I don't know what you think about that, but I would love to wear the butterfly. It deserves like full recognition as to oh, I love everything in the bag. It was amazing. Thank you so much, Joni. Like, when I do when I use a towel, if it's just for decorations, it's one thing to have like the little pretty embellishments on it and stuff. But for drying off your hands on it, sometimes I find a hard time. Like I don't like towels that have like a whole bunch of embroidery on it, because it limits the functionality of the towel. I don't know. But I love this. And I think it would go so well with this fabric. And it could be like a little thing on the pocket, on the front pocket. But of course it would be not this one, but wherever I put those pocket pieces, because I put them somewhere. They're right here. Let's see. Look how cute that would be on that pocket. Ah, look how cute that would be. Oh my goodness. Let's see. I love them, Joni. And I love variegated stuff. And I just want to add it on the pocket because I love it so much. I hope you don't mind if I do that. Yes, I love it. I love it all. All right, so let's get back to work here. I'm going to go ahead and sew up this lining piece. And I'm just going to use the same thread for all of it, so the whole thing can have the variegated thread. I'm cool with that, because I love variegated thread. And the thread I'm using is 100% cotton thread. I'm fine with multi-purpose, like the polyester thread too. I think Mary Maxim is a type of yarn, isn't it, Ray? Alright, so I have these pieces sewn together. So the reasons why I sew these two pieces together in the get-go is because you want to make sure that they're sewn together like end to back. So this is the front part and this is the back part. I know I'm going to need it like that because when I sew it together, kind of has to be pieced together here. Make sure that I have that on top on live chat. I bet you love not living in a busy city, though, Joni. Granted, you have a ways to drive to go to any major place, but I'm sure it's a blessing to be kind of out in the country. Okay, I will, Joni. It is so beautiful. It has to be like displayed so people can see it. So when I wear it, like if I'm going to put the butterfly on something, and somebody says, "Oh, that's so pretty. Did you crochet that?" I'm like, "No, but one of my best friends did. She crocheted it for me." You know? Hi, Julie. Yeah. Like, I live in a pretty decent size town, you know. We got quite a few people. I got a neighborhood. My neighborhood's pretty good, though. So what I'm doing here is I'm just pinning this kind of together. Now, I don't need to, really, but I'm going to just to kind of keep it where it needs to be. Because this piece is going to be used later. But I can't sew this together yet until I get the straps sewn on, because the straps are going to be sewn on to the back part of this top piece. I'm just kind of piecing it together. And I could get out the instruction sheet, but I really don't need to. Like, you can follow along in your instructions. It gives you certain steps to follow, kind of like guidelines. And I could do it that way. But what fun would that be? So I probably need to get my pocket started. I forgot to mark my cuts on that one. So now they're marked. So I just kind of have that. I'm just going to set this aside for now. This is the top bib part. We're going to set that aside. These are the leg cuffs. So we can sew up the leg cuffs really quick. So you just kind of know, like, the stretch. The stretch always wants to go out. So you're going to take and fold it in half and sew along this side, which has less stretch. Thanks, Stat. So glad for you to join us today. So this part that I'm sewing is the cuffs. Remember, you do a 5/8 inch seam allowance. That's the standard seam allowance that are on most patterns. Sometimes they switch up the seam allowance for some things, and sometimes I do adjust the seam allowance a little bit depending on what it is that I'm sewing. But most pieces I do use that 5/8 inch seam allowance. So I have that sewn, and then you would take and fold it in half and just kind of matching those edges. And in the past, I have sewn this up wrong and had to undo and re-sew it like other pieces. Not this piece, because this piece I'm showing you right here. But because it has to have a little bit of stretch to be able to fit over your feet and your ankles. Now, if you don't want the restriction of a cuff, you don't have to add a cuff. They do have a different view that you can do. So it's just like a regular like trouser leg. But I like having the cuffs. Especially on the knit overalls, I like the cuffs. So I like to make sure I add them. So those are the cuffs. - 100% cotton, then no stretch. Yeah, like you can, like what I'm doing now is I'm making a knit overall. So you want stretch on the knit overalls. But when you're, like if you're making like other things, yeah, not having a stretch on other stuff is just fine. Let me send a message to my daughter. My daughter's trying to call me. I'm going to send her a message saying that I'll call her back later. Isn't this green fabulous? I know when I was younger, I'd probably think, oh, how hideous. What stitch length am I using? I am using a 2.5 stitch length. And I have it in like just this left needle position. So it's not the center needle position, but the left needle position. And I'm doing a 5/8" seam allowance. Now when I do my top stitching, sometimes I will put this stitch length at like 3 or 3.5. Just because top stitching is different than like the regular stitching. But I'll use the same exact thread for my top stitching too. Because I generally don't switch out when I do top stitching. I don't switch out the thread. Unless I'm doing a certain thread for like one and then one in the special thread on the top. Like sometimes with my other overalls, the just regular fabric like denim and stuff, I'll use a different top stitching thread. But yeah, so this is the cuff that's done. And then I have this. So this is the front piece. This is a back piece. This is a front piece and this is a back piece. So I'm just going to set those aside for now, because next step we're going to do is sew on the pockets. So the pocket facings and the linings and stuff. So first part is the pocket pieces here. So we have our, oh, let me turn you down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing. Yeah, like using, there's also cotton stretch, but 100% cotton is good for like pants and stuff and different stuff, but for like if you're making a knit overall, you want some stretch. So when you're doing the pockets, you want to lay down like the pattern side. So the right side, this, down to the right side of that. So and just line it up like that. And so that's where some of the markings come in handy too, because you can compare your markings and kind of line them up. But you have it like that so that on the inside, when it's flipped, it's going to show that, and you're not going to have the other fabric shown. So you just kind of line it up. And just be careful, Stat, while driving and watching. I like to drive and have someone playing in the background too, because it just plays in my ear. And I like to listen as I drive. But definitely no like texting while you're actively driving. Like if you're going to text something, do it at a stoplight or a stop sign. Or pull off to the side of the road. Don't want to be responsible for an accident. Oh, okay. Oh, that's awesome. You wear dresses, Julie? Yeah, I have dresses that I've made. And dresses are okay, but I don't know, the way I grew up, I really associate dresses with church. And I need to get that out of my head. Dresses are not always for church. But I have a really hard time wearing dresses right now. But when I was pregnant with my kids, I loved wearing dresses all the time. It was because of freedom and it didn't press down on my tummy. I hated the pressure on my belly while I was pregnant and having something constricting across my stomach, because I didn't start wearing overalls till a couple years ago. Like growing up, my dad used to wear overalls all the time. Yeah. I think the last time I wore a dress was to my son's wedding, which was just like a simple park wedding. He wanted me to wear a dress. I would have rather just wore regular clothes, but he wanted me to wear a dress. So I put on a nice dress, one that I had made, and we walked over to the park because that's where he was having his little wedding. We walked over to the park, and his dad married him and his wife because his dad got ordained to marry people, like an online ordained minister type thing. So his dad married him. He already had the marriage license and everything. And they signed it and everything. And I took pictures and videos and stuff of the wedding. It was great. Yeah. That's kind of why I wear overalls. Well, also because they're comfortable, but it doesn't put pressure along my waist when I wear overalls. You used to wear Ronnie Nicole. I don't know what Ronnie Nicole is. Well, this side, I don't want to do a 5/8" seam allowance. I just remembered. That would be way, way too much to do a 5/8" seam allowance. Because we're just flipping the pocket. Should really have my seam ripper. Have to grab that down really quick. What's the most important things I keep nice and close by? Oh, good. I didn't sell that other one yet. My favorite brand of sewing machine is probably the Brother is my favorite. Basically because that's what I have mostly used. Like my first machine was a Brother machine that I bought when I was in high school because I was making quilts and blankets and stuff for babies. I was making baby quilts. And I have several different machines, but I understand the Brother ones, and they seem to work really well for me. New York. But what are Ronnie Nicole's? Is that like a is that a dress? Is it pants? Is it shoes? I am working with a Brother machine. So it is a CS6000i computer machine. This one I found at a thrift store for $25. It still had like the blue tape on it and everything. I was missing a couple of pieces. Like it didn't have the foot pedal. It didn't have the power cord. It did have some of the accessories, you know, in the little thing. It did have some accessories. Yeah, I found this a couple years ago, though. Like my other Brother machine that I used to use, it, the stitch selector on it, because it was all mechanical, like manual. So it didn't have any electrical components, like any computer components to it. This one has the computer components, but I'm okay with that. But I do like them. I just sometimes they get a little too technical. How to adjust my now this does add a little bit of bulk with the lining there for the pocket, but it's okay. A little bit of extra bulk isn't going to hurt. And it really does make a difference, like in the colder weather, going out and having that lining. Like, I don't mind. Hi, Angie. Yeah, I restarted because my computer died. And since my computer died, I had to plug it in because I forgot to plug it in. And it wouldn't let me reconnect, so I had to end the stream and restart. So there's a part 2 showing the actual sewing and not just the cutting out and serging. I have this pocket. Now this piece is just a, let's see, like a 1/2 inch seam allowance. So this part is a 1/2 inch, the other is a 5/8. But along the pockets, I like to do a smaller seam allowance just because you don't need as much when you're flipping that pocket. And as you guys saw, I did switch out my needle, but I think that was probably at the end of the last one. Hi, Stacy. I am sewing Simplicity 8855. It is a knit overall pattern right here. And right now I'm sewing on my pockets. So my little pocket pieces. Yeah. The thing about making your own clothes is you can make them any color you want. So the pattern itself might be black, but if you make it, you can make it fluorescent pink if you want. So now we have that, and then we would just kind of take this and flip it over, and then we would top stitch along this. Normally, you'd probably iron the pieces, I'm sure. I don't know if I really ironed these when I made them or not. I guess it's just preference. I could press them with a little roller. I have it somewhere. I have a little seam roller thing. This little like Singer seam roller that I got.
I'm sorry, but where's the end?
He's at. You left the door open. Now the cat's gonna come in.
They was carrying the cat.
Yeah. So be nice to the cat. Ethan's at Logan's house.
Mom, so he does not weigh that much.
No, he doesn't. He's just like 8 months old.
Yep,
I think he just barely turned. Well, he'll be 8 months in like 2 days. I think on the 6th.
Mom, so isn't even heavy.
No, because he's a kitten.
Okay, well, he's so light. Hey, and Tommy, he is not light.
Well, Tommy was a 9-year-old cat.
Okay. And Mom?
This is Elizabeth. She is
Hi.
8 years old.
Yeah. Mom, watch me disappear.
Oh.
Disappear through the
Oh, she's going to do the disappearing act.
Yep, and that makes the viewers wonder.
Oh, it makes them wonder where you went.
And I go this way, and they can't even see me.
Nope. Angie says hello.
Hi.
Okay, so I have that pinned together. And we'll pin together this other side. I don't know if using the seam roller is really beneficial on this. I don't think ironing it would really be very beneficial either.
Mom, on my phone I disappeared on it.
Yeah?
Yep.
You're silly. Oh my. Get some entertainment, guys.
Meow. Yeah.
We have Ray in here, and we have Julie, and Stacy, and Angie, and Billy, and we have Cheryl, and we had Joni, we have Stats, and I don't know Stats' real name. I said we had Joni, and we had Stephanie, and we had Kyle, And we had Mary. I'm sorry, Mary, if I didn't say hi. And then we had Clint.
I love you, Mom.
I love you too, Elizabeth.
Mom, I know a name. And it's Pam.
Yeah, I know. Your face is dirty.
Sorry.
You don't need to apologize. I'm just telling you so you can go wash it.
Yeah.
I know, Angie. She is so full of energy.
Yeah.
Except for when you try to wake her up in the morning to get her to get ready for school. Then she doesn't have as much energy.
Yep. Mom, so it's boring.
Oh. Do they need to give you more work to do? Would that make things better? Well, this, I want to do my top stitch. So with my top stitch, I do a stretch stitch. So it's the one that has like the 3 little stitching lines. And that makes the stitch more visible from the top side. So it goes like does a back and forth stitch. So it goes forward, it goes back, it goes forward, and it goes back. So now the triple stitch, it's like a stretch stitch. So it will allow the fabric to stretch without popping the stitches. But it also makes a wonderful top stitch. Elizabeth just went back upstairs. Let's see, here is my top stitching on there. So underneath you can see some of the other stitching. Oh, this is going to be so warm. Oh my goodness. And feel the warmth when I touch it. It's going to be amazing to wear.
Mom.
What?
I want to turn down your donut.
What? He keeps trying to come in my sewing room?
I want to see donut.
No, he doesn't need to come in here.
Yeah. I told you nothing.
And this is my son, Timo. He is my 6-year-old.
Yeah, now I am 10 years old. Want to do my mom telling you.
Oh, the cat wants to come in my sewing room?
Yeah.
Yeah, he's not allowed to.
Yeah. God told him, what are you doing? Don't know. Said they have to teach it. Like, Mom.
Yeah.
I feel that in your son did come in here. Like,
well,
Mom.
I could lock myself in it. Well, I could lock myself in it.
Yeah.
But then my kids couldn't get in. But I do like to close the door so that the cat doesn't come in. For a while there when we didn't have a cat, yeah, I would leave my room open. But now that we have a cat, that room has to be shut. Okay, now next we're going to work on the pocket facings. So you have 2 different pieces. They look like this. So this flat edge that kind of curves, that is going to go on like this. So this curve is going to go down like that. And so when you pick it up, you're going to see those lines.
Mom, here you go. 2 and 2.
Thank you.
Yeah, I'm all do a 2.
Have
Now
that
I
there,
don't want to do a
and
2.
I'll just pin these pocket
I got
pieces
2 and
together.
2, 3 and 3. I need 1. Right, Mom.
Okay.
When I was 4-year-old, I saw a tumor.
Oh, really?
Yeah, 1, 2 of it. I really did saw a tumor.
Oh, really?
And the tumor went out.
Yeah. Okay.
Put that one. We gotta see tumor down.
Oh, okay.
No. And I did see Maya. The tumor. Nothing sad like some
Are you
warrior.
talking about Kuma the cat? The
Yeah.
one that Brianna had?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The tumor went outside.
Yeah, sometimes they do that, don't they? They run outside.
Yeah.
Okay, go play.
Hope tumor not out in the woods right now. Right, Mom?
It's with Brianna in Wisconsin. Where she lives.
Hope tumor not out.
He's going to eat some of it and share it with his siblings. And not all of it was candy. Some of it was like little cheese balls. So I have the pocket here. You hear that cat? It's like, I want in. And it's like, not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. Well, thank you, Angie. They're good kids. You know, I think I'm pretty lucky with my kids. You know, they do have their issues. And it does take some patience. But I don't like to micromanage my kids, and I don't like to helicopter. Now, I take care of them. I protect them. I make sure that they are where they need to be. But I don't like to micromanage. I like them to be themselves. I like them to have their freedom. Oh, fun, Joni. Family pictures. I haven't had family pictures in a long time. Like someone offered to do family pictures in exchange for a project. And I was like, as lovely as that would be, like most of my family is out of town, like my kids. So that's just not a possibility. Like my daughter just tried calling me again. I guess I should text her and let her know I got her message. Because she says her friend is going to be picking her up from the airport when she comes to town in March. Okay. So I have that pin. So I'm just going to take and sew around this. I think I'm going to do my stretch stitch just because it's a stronger stitch, and it's going to make sure that the like with using this and some of the stretch that comes from this fabric, that it isn't going to pop the stitches. So I will just be using my triple straight stitch, which is also a stretch stitch. And on my machine, it's like stitch number 2, because I have a stitch 0, which is a straight stitch. A stitch 1 that is also a straight stitch, but it's a center straight stitch. And the number 2 is a 3 stitch. Yeah, I kind of let my kids do what they want to do for the most part. They do have boundaries. They do have rules. They do have stuff that's required of them. But I let them kind of do what they want to do. It just works best for us. That's how I get my sewing done. Is because they know they can come down anytime. And I do check on them. And I can hear them because they're just on the other side of the door. So more noise because I'm going to start sewing. So, Joni, did you find some good finds at Hobby Lobby? What did you find? Do tell. I forget sometimes it doesn't really back it, just kind of locks it in place. And my son moved my garbage can when he came down. So here I am throwing the strings on the floor because the garbage can wasn't where it needed to be. Go figure. But sometimes I'll just take and just toss the strings off to the side. Oh, good, Joni. So excited to see what you got, Joni. All right, so I have that pocket piece sewn in. So it just kind of goes like that. And then I will do a little bit of stitching on this to put it in, to kind of keep it into place. And I will do a stitching that's kind of closer to the edge, because it's also going to have the stitching that's going to join those seams together. And then I will so I'm just going to kind of pin this, and then I'll go back and sew that after I get the other pocket piece sewn. I'm excited to watch Becky's haul. Becky went to Goodwill today. I guess they found a new Goodwill to visit, because Becky lives in South Carolina. And let my daughter know that I'm live YouTube. She keeps trying to call me. She said she tore something. Oh, she says that she tore her ACL again. Oh. She is just accident prone, I tell you. That daughter of mine. They overcharged you $11? Oh my goodness, Angie, did you get it fixed? I'm so sorry to hear that. $11 is a lot of money, especially when you're short on cash. I tell you. Okay, so I have that piece sewn up. Now I'm going to go ahead and pin this, and then we're going to go ahead and sew those pieces together. Like sew them down, and then we'll take and work on the pockets for the back pockets, because we need to sew those pockets on before we sew the legs together. Okay. And I just push it back to like the middle straight position, because I don't need a top stitch to sew this piece down. All right, Cheryl, thanks for stopping by. Well, if they gave you $11 back, that is going to take the whole amount of the check that you wrote for the Hobby Lobby visit, Angie. Because if they gave you $11 cash back, they're going to take that full amount of the check and to take that out of the check, out of the bank. That's the way it works. You have a wonderful day, Cheryl. I appreciate you stopping in and visiting. See, this piece doesn't have lining on it. Which it needs to have lining on it. Seriously. Well, it doesn't have to, because it's not super thin. Like this pocket piece here, I did put lining on it when I did it. Okay, but they are going to put that whole amount. They are going to take that whole amount out of the bank on the check if they gave you cash back. Well, yeah, this piece won't be lined, but I think it'll be okay. I'll just have a little cold spot right there along my hip when I wear them if it's cold outside. That's all. Some of those things you think about after the fact. If I thought about it before I sewed it together, I would have lined that this pocket piece. So okay. The horrible habit of just throwing threads on the floor. That's what I do. I cut them off and I throw them on the floor. Because I do regularly sweep the floor down here. Like last night, I swept it before I locked up for the night because I was prepping the room for my video. So now we have my back pieces and we need to work on these pockets. So we'll work on the front pocket piece. Oh, my stomach's kind of growling a little bit. No, because they already gave you $11, Angie. So they're going to take that full $11. They're going to take that full amount of the check that you wrote them. And they already handed you $11 in cash, right? So if they didn't take out the full amount of the check, if they gave you $11 in cash back, that means you would be getting $11 that didn't belong to you. Because if they already gave you the $11 in cash back from that check that they overcharged you, it all evens out. So say you were, okay, so if you were charged like $51 for something, okay, and later on you realized that you were charged $11 more, and that was actually supposed to be $40. So say if we're making a transaction and you paid me, hi Janet. So if you paid me $51 and then we realized that, you know what, I should have only charged you $40. Well, but you wrote a check. I'm giving you that $11 that was charged over, and but that check is still going to be charged the $51. So if that makes sense. How you doing, Janet Nash? Great to see you. We're doing a little math lesson for Angie here. So when I sew this together, I'm just going to leave a little opening on the side because this is going to be the pocket that I put on the bib. And so just right here between these pins is where I'm going to leave that open. And the seam allowance doesn't apply to the pocket because, you know, this is different. So I'm still have it in my middle needle position, and I'm just going to kind of line up along the edge of this pocket as we go. You're getting messy. Awesome, Janet. And all these little corners, I like to kind of turn it so that I get a couple of stitches. Okay. So we have this. Now with this, I am going to have to cut the edges, like the corners, just because I want it to have kind of a neat finish. So I am going to take and I'm going to chop off these corners. So Angie, if you go to check for $33, okay, and you went back in there and they gave you $11. Yeah, I'm making overalls. I am making Simplicity S8855, and they are in knit overalls. So if you go to check for $33 and you went back in there and that was $11 over, well, if they gave you those $11 back in cash, they are still going to cash the check for the $33. Or they are going to be short the $11 because they already gave you cash back. But I'm going to go ahead and clip these corners here. These corners, just so that it will lay flatter because it is on a curve and this is going to be inverted. And when it inverts, it does kind of bunch up the fabric. And that's why we clip the corners, is to help with the bunching, so that there's not a whole bunch of excess fabric. It gives the fabric room to maneuver. Okay. I just flip in the pocket. And this is going to be my top pocket, my bib pocket, because I like to have that little bit of extra strength in the top pocket. And sometimes I like to add a different fabric on the top. But Angie, did they give you the $11 back in cash? When you went in, did they give you $11 back in cash? If they gave you $11 back in cash, they made up for that $11 that was overcharged. But they still have to have that $11 that they gave you back in cash. So they still have to charge you that $33 on the check that you wrote them. Unless you took that check and had it rewritten and they gave you back the old check. Because if they didn't charge you the $33 and they gave you $11 back, that means they would technically only be getting $11. If they only cashed your check for $22 and you wrote it, if they only took the check and made it $22 and you wrote it for $33, but they wrote it for $22 and they already gave you $11 back, that means they would be gypped $11. Yeah, math is a complicated thing sometimes. You know, I tried to send Angie Happy Mail and she said no thank you. I would love to send Angie some Happy Mail. No, I'd even make it a small Happy Mail, Angie. You know, I wouldn't overstuff it like I do some of them. I wouldn't make it a giant box, I promise. Okay, I don't really need to like pin around this. I'm just doing it just to get it to lay out properly. I don't know, because I don't need to pin it until I sew it onto the fabric itself. It's been traveling for over 2 months. Oh my goodness. That is awesome. Hopefully she gets it now that your post is back up and working again, Janet. No, but Angie, they gave you $11 back in cash, right? So they already refunded you that extra $11 that you were charged. Because if they already refunded you that $11 in cash, they're still only making the $22 because they already refunded you that $11. Oh, Janet, I was saying, oh, that's been traveling for over 2 months. I'm glad your post is up and working again. Okay, so now we have this pocket ready to go on the bib part. We'll just set that aside since that one's ready. Oh, but no, it's not quite ready yet. What I wanted to do is I wanted to sew this piece on that Joni sent me. Look how beautiful this is. Oh my goodness. And I want to add that right onto my pocket because I love it so much. But I just want this just to be so pretty and perfect on this pocket. I think originally I was going to stitch it on there and then sew the pocket together, but I forgot. So it can just be sewn and I can fill the seams on the inside after it's on there. It's all good. That probably needs the extra layer anyways to make it feel good. I'm just so excited for this, Joni. It's going to look so cool. Trying to think. I think I'm just going to lengthen the stitch length. I was thinking about doing a zigzag, but I don't think that would work so well. So I'm just going to do like a straight stitch and do it kind of on the inside of the outer crochet of this piece. Kind of like an applique. Because it's so pretty. It's got to be on there. I love it so much. You know, this little thing came, your Happy Mail Joni came just in time for this video. I like adding little extras to things. Especially if I'm going to wear it. And the collars are just perfect for this fabric. Okay. And you have a great day. Enjoy your crafting. Yes, I love that it's your doily too, Joni. It's so precious. I love it. Like maybe when I make a woven pair of overalls, again, I'll take that butterfly one because the pocket's a little bit bigger, I think, on the... Oh, I'm glad you're not going anywhere, Angie. But I think the pocket is a little bit bigger on the woven overalls. That I'll have more pocket space to put the butterfly on. Because I so want to wear that butterfly. Because it's so pretty. Either that or make another coat or jacket and sew it onto the jacket. I could do that too. But that butterfly is pretty. I love it. The best part is it's with thread that I sent you. I love having all my crafty friends. I guess I just didn't know what I was missing out on before all this Happy Mail. I'm glad I found you guys. You guys are awesome. Like usually when sewing on an applique, I would do a zigzag stitch. But I wanted to make sure I left the pretty like edge of the crochet visible. I didn't want to take away from that. So I'm just kind of stitching like right on the other side of the crocheted edge. Okay. And this thread that I'm using like really matches this doily too. So here is the back side of the pocket after I sewed on the doily. Look how cute. I love it. Thank you so much, Joni. Now everyone can see your beautiful work of art. All right, so now time to work on this other pocket. Now these are the back pockets. Trying to think of how I did them exactly. I think what I did is I just folded down the back pocket piece like this. Yeah, a Joni crochet pocket. Her little doily on my pocket. I'm so excited. All right, so now I'm going to sew this. I'm going to sew up these edges, and then I'm going to kind of go around. Yeah, I'm glad you didn't sew them on either. Especially this little doily. I don't think you was going to sew this little doily on the tea towel. But you probably would have sewed on the butterflies. Yeah, I just... it's just amazing. Probably should actually make that the other stitch length. Well, I mean the other stitch. I need to do a 5/8 inch. Just because of the pocket, and it needs to have room to turn. And I forgot about that for a minute. So I'll sew it to this. But then I'm going to lengthen my stitch length a little bit. So, let's see. We'll cut this. Because I am going to have to kind of pull in that edge a little bit of the pocket. Put that there. And then okay. So there is a trick that you can take part of your stitching, and it will kind of help turn in those corners a little bit so they fold a little easier, I think. Yes, these are the back pockets. Now, I'm so glad I found you too, Joni. I'm glad I found all of you guys. Now, I thought like trying to pull that would work, but probably not. That's probably a bad idea. All right, I'm just going to go ahead and stitch up. I guess a line is just supposed to be a guide reference as you fold it so that you know where to stitch. And I love it too, Joni, because you send me those little doilies, I can add them to my clothes because, man, I can't crochet that beautifully. I'm sure I could probably eventually get there to be able to crochet that beautifully, but that takes some talent, I tell you. You know, just an intricate detail that it takes to crochet those little doilies and butterflies and spiders and all that. I tried doing a little crochet thing the other day, and man, it was difficult. So now what I'm going to do here is I'm going to take this, and I'm just going to take and I'm going to clip it. Just like that. I'm going to take and clip this piece. So why do I do that? So that there's less bulk. Now I'm not going to cut this piece, but I'm going to cut this little flat piece like that. And so it's going to overlap like that. And I'm going to do that to the same thing to the other side. And that just helps reduce the bulk of the in the fabric. So it looks kind of like that. And I will do that to this other piece also. And go ahead and cut that there. Cut that down. And then just a little flap. Just like that. I'll go ahead and flip this piece here. Just like that. So you have that piece. And then these other little pieces are going to be in there so that they get caught in the top stitching that you do across the top of the pocket. So I'm going to kind of measure out here, like where I'm going to need to line this up. Because I kind of like to measure out, kind of determine what line I'm going to line it against as I do my top stitching across the fabric here. Yeah, there is quite a bit of pieces involved, but it's not too bad. So you have the pockets and the pocket pieces and the other. Let's see, I have my stitching here. Like I was gonna stitch it along a different line, and then I kind of re-guessed it, and I'm glad I didn't, or I would have been totally off. Then I would have had to stitch it down again. It would have been bad. Okay. Yeah, I love the different colored threads. I love variegated thread. And I don't want it to all blend in. I kind of want it to add a pop of color, you know? Okay. I'm just going to kind of follow along this line here that I have my, like I did the pointed pockets on the butt. That might have been good. Could have shown you how that was done. But it's all good because I like the rounded pockets better. And that's the joy of doing it, like making stuff, is that you can change it any way you want it. Like if you decide, you know what, I want an extra pocket here, you can add an extra pocket. It's wonderful. Oh, yay. New washi tape. That is so much fun, Angie. Now I can sit here for hours and just sew sometimes. Hey, I have been sitting here for hours. You know? Two o'clock. Oh my goodness. Have that pinned. I think I'm going to do it. Well, trying to debate. Do I want to do a top stitch down it and then do another stitch that just attaches it? Trying to debate what I want to do. Like maybe do a top stitch and then sew it down on the thing, or just put it down on the thing and do like the double top stitch. I don't know. I think I'll put it on the fabric and do the double top stitch. That's good to have some playtime, Angie. I'm going to try to make a sweatshirt. Like out of the excess fabric that I use for the lining of this. Because I think I might have enough to be able to cut out the pieces for a sweatshirt. Maybe not really like a huge sweatshirt, but a shirt. My back's starting to hurt a little bit because I'm sitting up so much. Trying to keep my back straight as I'm sitting up. All right. So we got to line up the pocket pieces. This one I had actually marked on. What I'm actually going to do, since I didn't get this other one marked on the top, I'm going to take like this. Actually, like this. Okay. So I don't have to actually get out the pattern piece itself. I'm going to take it like this. Line it up. Put my pin through there. Put a pin through there. And then flip it over. And just kind of mark it there. And then I have my little marks for my pockets. Okay. And then I'm just going to set my pocket down there like that. It'd be so cool to add like a little doily on this pocket. But that's okay. I don't know. I'm pretty sure in the last envelope Joni sent me, it had little doilies in it. That would be cute. Thing is, I emptied out that envelope and reused the envelope to send Happy Mail. And I put the little stuff somewhere. I just don't always remember where I put things. It's okay though. Like once I find it, I can always hand stitch stuff on the pockets too after it's sewn on. I probably won't because that'd just be too much work. I'm just saying. There we go. Got that pocket placed. And then we'll place this other pocket and then we'll stitch it down. So you just kind of take the pocket and you line it up with the dot markings. Yeah, that's kind of why I pre-pin around the pocket so I don't have to fold and pin as I put it down on the fabric. They have that pocket all pinned. So I'm going to go ahead and top stitch around the pieces. Put my pins back over on the side. Make sure I'm in top stitch mode. So I take this and then I'm going to go along closer to the edge here and stitch down closer to the edge. Kind of take this and then I just kind of line it up. And so in the, like, on the foot, there's a little marking that's a center piece. I'm going to use that marking and kind of use that as a guideline as I go around the other stitching. That's what I should say is I'm just using as a guideline, just along the foot, like to keep it along there. I actually changed my mind because not all my stitching is the same all the way around. You know, it's the way it goes. So I just use like the little opening on my foot as a guide. But I want to make sure I get it nice and close to that edge. Okay. Well, this first pocket is finished. No, I'm good. So we have this. Plus, I don't want to stop. I want to keep sewing. So, no, I don't need a break. Not yet. Maybe I'll finish sewing on the pockets. And then maybe I'll have to do around 3. Now, I love this fabric. Like, I saw it at the thrift store for like $5 and I had to get it. I don't know, it just spoke to me. It's like one of those dated fabrics that you'd see back in the 60s. But I love it. It's awesome. Granted, if you asked me like 20 years ago what I thought of the fabric, it would be different. But you know, yeah. And I'm in Utah, so my time zone is Mountain Time. So it's 2 o'clock here. I'm just thinking if I can get this done, it would be so awesome to have it done all like, and then you don't have to wait for like the part 3. Sometimes I hate waiting, and I'd rather just see it all done. Like, not all of my turns are perfect, but it's okay because I can still be proud of it, and I know that this is for me. And the perfectionist in me is okay with this. Now, if I was making it for someone else, I probably would have slowed down and taken those curves a little bit slower, just because it makes it look a little bit sloppy. And granted, you'll probably be able to tell that I made it. But that's okay. Probably would put a date on the page. So we have that. I got the pocket there. So pockets are ready. Yay. So now the next step is sewing the legs together. Once we have the pockets all sewn on, now the legs. Okay. So we have our crotches here. We have the side seams here. And we're just going to go through and we're going to check our markings. And we're just going to kind of line those up. So we have our little notches marked. Kind of line those up as we go here. And so this part here does get a little bit thick, but it's okay. Okay. And I don't have to pin this top part, but I'm just going to pin it just to kind of keep it in place. And I go down all the way to the bottom. And I probably could have trimmed those threads. I know it's a lot of serging people will take and like feed the threads up through the thing, which I probably should. But all of this edging and stuff, it's all going to be worked into the seams. So it's not going to really have a chance to unravel itself. Because there is going to be a cuff on the bottom of this. And then it's going to have the seam sewn up the side. All right. I do like to pin it just to make sure that all the seams and the notches and stuff are going to line up. Because you wouldn't want to get to the top and then have this big like spot that's not lined up that's going to be extra. Sometimes that happens. Okay. And that's why we have the notches, is so we can kind of line it up. So it kind of lines up where it needs to go along the fabric. If that makes sense. Okay. Are you guys bored yet? Take and line up this bottom piece. I'm so excited to be able to wear these. I'll have to decide what my next project is going to be after this. I know I have a couple pieces of fabric wash that I washed with this fabric that I want to use for cow toppers. And I think someone asked me if I could do just an individual video that just shows the towel topper. And I can do that on its own without a whole bunch of other stuff added in. All right. I'm going to decide, do I want to just do a regular seam or do I want to do a triple stitch? And I think I'm going to do a triple stitch just because that's going to make the fabric, the seam stronger so that it's not going to like come undone or whatever. Because we are sewing it on stretch fabric. Did I put y'all to sleep? Okay, so I have that sewn up. Hi, Sherry. How are you doing? So great to have you here. If you're wondering what I'm sewing, I am sewing up Simplicity 8855. It is a knit overall pattern. I'm doing view A. Right now I'm just sewing up the side seam on the leg. Yeah, I love being able to sew my own clothes. It's so nice. Double checking my messages on my phone. Okay. I have the side seams all sewn up. And I did the triple straight stitch, which is like also a stretch stitch for, it will give a little bit of stretch to the seam when you're using it. When you, like if you're using it on stretch fabrics, it gives a little bit of extra stretch when you want to do that straight seam. And then this gives a little bit extra stability in the fabric too. Well, just like that. It's beautiful. Like my, see my lines there? They almost line up all the way. Now they get further down and they stop lining up. But like the pattern matching though. So then if I wanted to like go a step further, since I only have the side seam sewn up, I could take and do a top stitching down this seam here just to give it a little bit of extra. Yeah, just a little bit of extra. I'm going to decide, do I want to do that? I think I do because I love this. I love using the variegated and I love the way it looks. That maybe I just want to add that little bit of extra. And now sometimes I would take and add like some rickrack down the seam just for the heck of it. One of those things you kind of got to decide what you want to do. Well, I'm glad, Julie. I think maybe I'm going to have to make this a part 2. I mean a part 3 section. Because because I probably do need to take a break. Warm up a little bit. Go check my thermostat and turn up the heat a little bit because I'm a little bit cold and chilly. Because my house probably 70. I do like it a little bit warmer, but it defaults. But it might even be 68. But it's a little bit colder down here because I'm in the basement. So I'm going to like contemplate adding like some rickrack or something kind of blingy to the side as I stretch over. Send my son a message saying I'll call him back. So I have this bag of rickrack, but it doesn't have the one I was looking for. Oh, there it is. Like I have this green rickrack here that has some pink in it. I also have this. I have some giant rickrack too. I think some giant rickrack would look absolutely amazing. I'll have to look and see what my options are. Oh, you're so welcome, Angie. I think I'm going to go back on tomorrow morning. So I will plan another session. I won't sew anything more until I come back on. But I will kind of look and see what options I want to do. If I want to add rickrack, I think this green would just blend in like way too much and it just wouldn't stand out like I'd want. Something like this would stand out and kind of give it a little bit of pizzazz. And I think that would be cool. I would still probably, though, do a top stitch down the seams on both sides and then take this and do like a zigzag stitch going down the center. With trying to decide what color of thread I would use to go down the center. But I am going to top stitch down both sides of the seam. So I can pin those off screen, but I'm not going to sew anymore I'm not going to sew anymore without you guys. So I'm going to plan on doing another live tomorrow morning. I will get that scheduled. And we will finish up these overalls. So thank you guys all so much for joining me. I think my son was calling me, asking me to go pick them up from his cousin's house. So I hope you guys all have a wonderful day. Thank you for joining me and stay creative. And I'll talk to you tomorrow. And I'll see you around in chat too. Bye now.